welcome to Tomes. As usual, your hosts is Cody and Jacen,
Hi.
and we're excited to continue talking about Vox Machina. I
Whoop.
am, yeah, sorry.
I was gonna go woo woo. Although these are the last 3 episodes, I believe.
Yeah, last final, the season finale.
So heartbroken, but makes me excited because
It
we
does.
get excited for the next season, which I'm happy where they ended. But we'll dive into that here in a little bit.
Yep. First, we do have a little bit of news. First thing I want to talk about is that the new Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom trailer dropped yesterday or 2 days ago from the time of
2 days
recording.
ago.
And it
So
looks
by
amazing.
so by the time this comes out, it'll be like 5 days.
Yeah, it's been about a week. Probably you guys probably all seen it, but it looks amazing. I'm so excited for it. It comes out May 12th. I saw some pre-orders are already started. They did jack up the price a little bit to $70, which we were talking about, and we were
Yeah,
reminiscing to the $20 days.
yeah, no, like I remember when like brand new games were coming out were like $50 and that was like
Yeah.
GameCube.
Yep.
But we were talking like Walmart would have these like 20, like again, we see the like the $5 bin for movies. They had one for like $20 video games that were just chilling on the side. Yeah, my allowance was $20. So I'm like, woohoo, new game.
Yep. But yeah, so that was my big piece of news.
uh and other piece of news this week, Harry Potter's Legacy of Hogwarts came out this past Tuesday and has gotten glowing reviews. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm just again broke as all crap, so I can't get it yet.
Ash and I are waiting for it to come out on Switch in July, so
Mhm.
we can just buy one copy and don't have to have multiple.
True, true, very true. But quick, just a what is it? What are they called? Like promos or what was it?
I am
Public
public
service
service
announcements.
announcement.
Yeah, we got
PSA.
it there together. Quick PSA, guys, whether or not you support J.K. Rowling or not, anybody that is streaming the game that's doing it for fun, doing it for their job, don't be haters. Don't be dicks, okay?
Yeah, be nice
Just
to them. Well, everyone will be nice to you. Everyone can get along. You have your opinion. They have their opinion. Let's all just be nice.
exactly. And it's just like whether or not like you say it's bigoted or anything like that, it's you show people yourself. If you're going after them and hating on them because of their intolerance for trans rights or whatever, well, aren't you also being intolerant to them because you're attacking them just for something that they maybe just enjoy Hogwarts as a kid or Harry Potter? And it does not need to be politically charged in any way. They're just like, cool, I get to be a wizard and go explore the world. To which I believe J.K. Rowling, I don't think she doesn't get much royalties from this. I think the company just like paid for the IP and now they can run with it. So
She does get some for it, but she makes a lot more off of like Legos and from the books and all the other stuff. The
yeah, the actual merchandise,
movies.
not the video
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. So
Which which
it's
again,
just a weird
it's
hill to die on. But anyways, I digress.
yeah, nonetheless. Just guys, uh again, we're very much a if choose how you want to be treated. So if you want to be treated for love and acceptance, show that love and acceptance.
Yep.
So anyway, end of PSA.
Yeah. Let's see here. I think that's all of our news then.
uh
I'm Dungeons and Dragons still on track. They have not pushed it back again.
Woohoo! The movie,
They're
the movie.
yes, the movie. The movie. Our session got pushed back again.
Dang it.
And by
Okay.
that I mean we haven't even started.
Oh no. Okay. So actually, real quick on that front. Okay. So I have my Crash D&D group. Yeah, we haven't played like in 4 or 5 months.
Yep.
So and they're all like, "We want to play again. We want to play again." So I was like, "Okay, how about I made a Google Docs of just like, okay, guys, just I have it posted on like days, like morning, afternoons, evenings, available, not available. I even put like time slots, what they would cover, like 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., like basically from 6 a.m. to noon, noon to 6, and then 6 to midnight, as those are what the time slots are. And then you just click and put available, unavailable. Yeah, we can't light up a single person. We can't light up a single day.
That's amazing.
I'm just like, dang, this is rough. Like, actually, I kind of want to send you a screenshot of it because it's so bad.
That's awesome. Do it. Send it.
Just because it's just like unavailable, 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 available. And just like,
Yo,
oof. Well, welcome to life. This D&D, the hardest part, scheduling.
I know, right? Man. Yeah,
Actually,
that's
yeah,
okay.
I'm just
I'll
gonna,
take a look at it whenever it gets in.
yeah,
I am,
I'm just
but
gonna take a picture the boomer way here.
okay. You get out your old Polaroid camera.
You can expect it in the mail. Okay, okay.
7 to 10 days. Um, so I do want to say my impressions real quick of Vox Machina. Oh, hey, look, it came in.
Yeah, I just sent you a picture. Like, not a single line of green.
That's amazing.
Don't get me
You were
wrong, first
so close. You were so close.
again, that's for this week. Next week, let me check next week. I think it might be more the same. Yeah, next week because next week's Valentine's. Yeah, nope. Because I'm only available like 2 days. I could do it next week, and in 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Nice Saturday. Seriously, if we just had Mitch on Saturday mornings, we could
Yo,
do it.
that's
Just
hilarious.
like if we could just do Saturday mornings, we'd be good. Heck, one part is like, I'm willing to open up my availability Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
for once. Just for once.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was the day that I had one of our campaigns, just
Oh, yeah.
because that was the only time that we could do it.
Mhm.
Because I had Wednesday for one and Sunday afternoon for the other.
Yeah, I was in the Sunday afternoon slot.
That's right. Man, that was such a great campaign. I
I
want to
love it.
keep
I
it
want
going.
Me too. I wanna get back to it.
I know. Ash will kill
Like,
me though. I
yeah.
took so much time preparing everything that it just, with everything
Oh,
else I have going on, I would have no time at all.
dude. Yeah, seriously. It's one of those things that for you, it's like, okay, yeah, probably gotta wait till it's either summer or you're done with school.
Yeah. Yup.
'Cause I'm at the point where I'm like, "Woo, I got a little bit of free time, I can do this, I can do that, I can mush some stuff around," but that's about it.
Yeah. All right.
But, okay, now we'll actually dive
Yes.
into
So the
Vox
final
Machina.
3 episodes of Vox Machina.
Dude, okay, they were fantastic. Honestly, episode 10, that entire fight just chills.
That was such a great fight. I think that was one of my favorite parts of any of it. Like that was just so phenomenally done. And I love that they had the bardic inspiration of Scanlan playing the screamo metal.
Dude, like,
That was amazing.
I want the soundtrack. I want the
I know.
soundtrack
Me too.
because it's just all of it, they were all so good. So good songs, so good moments, it's just ah,
It's
just
true.
amazing.
I'm pulling up on Spotify real quick just to see if
See if they have a soundtrack.
yeah,
Dude, if they do, I want it.
they
So,
do.
dope.
Yep, Legend of Vox Machina Amazon original series soundtrack. I am
Woo!
I think it's for the first season only though.
Okay, well, let's see. Well, if anything, then probably give it some time.
Yeah,
It will all come back out.
I'm sure it will. Because yeah, it
But,
says January 28th, 2022. Yeah, so
mm,
it'll be out in probably a couple months.
yeah. So, love the barrier, like, I always love, like, the visual effects they do throughout this entire show.
Yeah,
It's so artistically done. Like,
it
it's just
is.
so good. I
Oh, go ahead.
I still love Gilmore. Gilmore is still one of my favorite characters.
He's a great character.
He was one of my favorite characters on the tabletop as is, but just
Yeah,
seeing it animated is just it's done so well.
it is. I so when I was watching it, it's one of the shows that so I put my oldest down for bed. Ash leaves for work, and so I'm just trying to get my youngest down. He's hitting a year in about a week,
Mhm.
Well, I'm sitting there and I put on Vox Machina because it was like the perfect timing. He just falls asleep. He doesn't care what he's watching. And then all of a sudden, Grog gets impaled on a spear. And I'm just like, don't look, don't look, don't look. And
Now
he
that's
like
where you go,
pushes my hand down.
he's like, "Ooh."
I'm just like, gosh dang it. I'm
You're
scarring this
raising
child.
you're raising a barbarian.
Well, did I tell you what Liam did? So my oldest, when I he was about the same age, I watched the first and second John Wick with him because same thing, same type of
Mhm.
situation, except with him, he saw the spray from the blood and he started laughing.
D it
Oh,
reminds me in the middle of history class when I was watching Saving Private Ryan and I see the guy looking for his arm.
oh yeah,
Uh, it was one of those involuntary laughters.
yeah.
Like, I was like, "Hop!"
Oh man,
It was just because again, it's just one of those things that is it's just so out there.
yeah, it's true. Man.
But
I mean, it just makes me feel like really sad for the guy, but I mean,
I I feel sad for the guy, but just the fact for me, it was just the numbness of it, it's
yeah,
just him going over, looking around. He's like, "Oh," it was in very much the same context of like, "Oh, I found my keys."
yeah,
But it's like,
no,
"Oh,
it's
I
true.
found my arm."
Yep. No, you're 100% right. That's the shock factor. And it's just, oh man, such a good movie. Anyways, back to Vox
Back
Machina.
back to Vox Machina and the blood and gore with that.
Yes, but it was amazing. The entire fight, I love. I mean, it played out exactly as you said from last time. Of somehow that Pike would get brought into it all, and then Grog would fight to protect her, and that's how he got his muscles back. Which I'm guessing was in the actual tabletop as
Actu
well.
not exactly.
Okay,
Originally, because again, at this point, everybody in the party is set up.
yeah,
Uh, oh no! Oh, I'm excited for next season because there's gonna be one funny blunder that happens with Vexalia.
okay,
Because again, as we saw right before everybody jumps into the fight, you see them running on the rooftops.
hmm,
So in the actual Thordak fight, they're trying to Vex is with her broom trying to get up on the roof to actually get planted in.
okay,
Because at this point, yeah, because again, this is where you got though in some D&D mechanics. Vexalia shooting her bow on a broom,
yeah, negatives,
it's a disadvantage.
yeah,
It's at least a disadvantage shot. So until she specializes or kind of treats it as a mount. To
yes,
this point, she didn't have that. So what she would do is go use it, get up on a roof, and stay on the roof to shoot.
okay.
Yeah, she crit failed on getting off her broom
Oh no,
to where it's like actually we kind of see this with Percy in in season 1. He was like, "That's it. I'm going to climb up and try to get in through the window." Vexai gets on the roof, trips on a shingle and falls down.
yes,
I'm I'm excited for that.
that's awesome.
Reason why I brought that up is I thought that was going to happen in this one.
Okay,
That when because again they were planning on they were going to have a couple of them be there, just say, "Oh yeah, no, these are the friends you can capture," so to speak.
hmm,
And then they were going to send the rest of them up on the roof to do a surprise sneak attack kind of thing
okay,
to get ready in case Grog needed help.
yeah,
So, which and again, they just did that fantastically in the show.
they did. I thought the show that they took all those elements that they had
Mhm,
on it, so it was familiar to people who had seen the tabletop version, but at the same time, it was so fresh, and they did it their own way, where it tied in with the story, and everything brought everyone back together into this moment
mhm,
where Grog had already started the fight and got his trash handed to him because he was
mhm.
still weak. And then just that thing and that line, and I know they've used it so many times that I just love it so much. Of Vox Machina, F shit,
Shit
ah,
up!
and that was just like the best war cry. Like, let's go, this is it. And then it was
Yeah,
epic.
it truly was, and this is the thing that I love with it, is honestly going from my knowledge of the tabletop to the actual thing, it is in my mind how I pictured the fight.
Yeah,
And actually, what's really funny is prior to this fight, Travis was actually scared. Like,
I bet.
IRL, he was nervous beyond all get out. So, do you know about Will Wheaton's curse?
No.
Will Wheaton hardly ever rolls above a
Oh,
10.
yes, yes, yes.
So, in his action on Vox Machina, actually, during the campaign when they're doing the Slayer's Take quest with him as a
Mhm.
guest star, he finally rolled a natural 20.
That's right, and it was something that didn't matter, but he got a natural 20.
Yeah, it was about just insight checking the dude.
Yeah.
But he's just like, he got so excited about it. So what they did is they brought Will Wheaton to touch all of Matt's dice to try to curse all of the dice before he was doing the Kevdak fight.
That's so great.
Like, I think they even have they sell the video up on YouTube, so if they do, I'll clip it in here, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Dun, 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 dun,
I feel like it should be sadder when it gets to be high critter. Okay, so here's what's happening. We just wrapped on tabletop and we're kind of overlapping with Critical Role a little bit. And I asked them all not to die, and Travis had this super great idea.
We're calling in the big guns. We're calling in the deity level powers.
This is how desperate everybody is in the party. They've called in me to
We're
save the
calling
day.
in Overwatch.
Yeah,
We're calling for an airstrike.
What we're gonna do, and I don't know why I'm whispering this, but
You have to on these things. You have to whisper.
okay, so we're gonna go in, and I'm just gonna touch Matt's table.
Yeah,
I'm just
lay
gonna get
hands.
my hands all over
lay
Matt's
hands.
table.
There's also a large Goliath in the center of the board. If you could just like rub his head with your fingers a little bit.
Touch the Mr. Clean Dome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because the thing is that I told them not to die because if you guys die, I'm gonna get blamed for it. Because every time one of you jerks rolls badly, critters go bananas.
You're kind of like the Hulk. We're not going to try and control the juju. We're just going to aim the juju.
Yeah. Let's go put your
That's my secret. I always roll terrible.
let's go put your secret sauce on Steph. Will, come on. There she
This
is.
is happening.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, guys, it's great.
I feel better already. Fox Sage, you're the best thing ever. I feel renewed hope.
Have a good time. Have a good time tonight. Don't
you, Will.
fucking die. Just don't die. I feel like we're among us.
No. Wow,
It
look at
is,
this
you know, I mean, in
glorious,
a non-cursory
glorious.
sense, it is genuinely
Kind of pretty.
Oh,
wait.
God.
Have a good game tonight. Don't kill my friends.
Well done. I thank you. 1,000 gold shall be transferred to your account.
Oh, I like gold. I can use it to buy stuff.
6 gold and
5 gold at a party.
but just Travis like, all right, we got our secret weapon. We got our secret weapon. And out comes Will Wheaton.
That
And
is so
they're just like, okay, go, go, go. And he just begins like touching all the dice. And then Matt comes in a little bit later. And then I think Travis like is taking pictures during the fight.
yeah.
Just all those little quirks and stuff that goes behind it, the intense emotions they have. Knowing that and then watching it on screen, you can just feel it yourself.
Yeah.
Like just that fight, you're just like, I'm on the edge of my seat. You just,
Yeah.
you're glued. It was so good.
Mhm. So I'm gonna take a quick break from Vox Machina to talk about a D&D thing real quick.
Okay.
One of my personal favorite things to do is one-on-one fights.
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to get your take on it. So, why do you like or not like about them?
Here's the thing that I like about it is for me, it just depends on the context.
Mhm.
Like if it's something where where it is truly a one-on-one situation, I love it because it's more of a story driving element for the player.
Yeah.
Because I even think back to our campaign that we're like, oh, we really want to get back to. At one point, my character goes out in the middle of the night because he had a dream that had some type of connection, and he gets attacked by an imp.
Yep.
That one-on-one fight, and it made me really feel like I am a character in my story. It really, from the player aspect, I was just like, it made me feel like I was a main character.
Mhm.
And having my character, even my character, he's not super combat based, not at
Yeah.
all. Him still going through doing a one-on-one fight with a devil imp and being able to slay it. At the end of it, I was walking back in. I'm like, dang, that was actually a close fight. But it gets for me, it brings in the attention of the players, and even the players who are not involved in the combat, especially like in that case,
Yeah.
since it was just me,
Yup.
everybody like honestly, it brought focus to it where they're all like, wait, what's going on? What's his story? What's his backstory? I love it in the fact that it can be a storytelling element. And that's very much what Grog's is. Actually, that is one thing they haven't shown much with Grog that they did so much on the tabletop. Grog did like 5 1v1 fights.
Mhm.
Because I'm pretty sure we've all done at least one point or at least been in a campaign where someone did like a turn, like a, what is it, a gladiator arena kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been a part of one of those.
Yeah.
I was like, when it's something like that, for me, that's where the one-on-one fight kind of gets a little bit more boring. I'd
Mhm.
rather have that one be more of a team effort versus seeing another team, because I think that
Okay.
would be more.
Yeah.
But for something like that, or even like Kevdak and Grog one-on-one, it's
Yes.
a storytelling element that brings it to the next level, and that really personalizes it for the players and for everybody at the table.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. So I agree with that 100%. I am sorry, Ashley just texted me asking about plans for tomorrow, and I
Dude, it's all good.
yeah. I so
Can't get
with
my mind.
I yeah, so I had in the entire campaign, so that we did, I am in both groups. I think there was a total of 3 one-on-one fights that I did. I
Mhm.
am as a whole, I try and include everyone into them, and that's like you said, it's a lot more fun with teams. I
Mhm.
am because everyone gets involved and everyone does that. One of them that I did, and this is the one that I'm most conflicted about whether or not it was a good idea. It was a main NPC fighting just another NPC, and it
Okay.
was a duel between the two that had heavy implications for how the story would progress.
Hmm.
And the only reason it was that way is just I it was just due to how things had been set up. It was with the other group. It wasn't your
Yeah.
group, it was the other
Yeah.
one. I
I
but you do yeah,
I figured.
yeah. But the reason why I like it, I even in that one, the reason why I hold that it was a good thing that I did was because they got involved anyways. I
Yeah.
pre-rolled everything. And
Mhm.
I let it fall where it did. I didn't like set it up to do a certain thing. I just
Oh, yeah.
rolled beforehand. And so I just told it as a story
Yeah.
of like and then things happen, and then they would use mage hand or things like that, like invisible mage hand to get it out, to get a sword that like their hero, their champion, he nat one, and so it got stuck into the wall, like the bookcase next to him, and they
Mhm.
were able to use a certain spell to get it out, and so he was able to save a turn that he didn't have previously, which actually turned the fight, and he was going to lose, but they made
Okay.
it so he won simply because
Mhm.
of those things.
Yeah. And this is where, especially if it is an NPC versus NPC kind of thing,
Yeah.
having that scripted, having that planned out ahead is a good thing
Yes.
because at that point, this is more the DM telling the story, telling a tale. Because oh, I want to come up with a Kavoth quote right now. It is all about the performance here, and
It is.
that's seriously what honestly Dungeons and Dragons really comes down to. It's a performance. It is a
The way we play
perform
it.
the way we play it. Yes, the way Matt plays it is more like a tabletop
Well,
dungeon
it's
crawl,
yeah, and
but
that's the old
still,
school way.
yeah. Which and again, it's just it's different styles, different flavors of play. I
Yeah.
prefer more of the storytelling. 'Cause sorry, we love stories. Like me and you,
Yes.
we're huge story guys. We love getting into the lore. That's why we have this dang podcast.
Yeah.
And so being able to go into that lore, or even just being able to the dungeon master has to be able to paint a picture with his words. And that's why I love watching Matt Mercer as a DM.
Yes.
Because when immediately, the scene that comes to mind is when he is describing the Ruby of the Seas,
Mhm.
Jester's mom's performance. that just comes into my mind immediately on how he was able to just orchestrate all of it, tell the tale, had the music to go along with it. It's one of
Mhm.
those things I'm just like, the standard of being a DM, or at least the goal of it being a
Yeah.
DM, it just got raised for me.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that kind of stuff, having that story, but having an open option where they can jump in, that is the key.
Yeah. So I just want to get your take on, like I said, on that because I think it's a really great tool. I think it's a great way to tell a story. It's a
Mhm,
great way to let someone be the hero in that moment,
mhm.
and to have it set up to where different people can be that hero in the moment. It's their fight, and they have the dog in this fight, and it's so great. I just love that as a storytelling
Yeah,
tool.
I
Sorry.
agree. Sorry, immediately what came to mind when you said that was like, "Honor is dead, but let me see what I can do."
Yeah.
It's one of those moments, and it gives your players a chance to have that moment.
Yeah.
Like, again, Dungeons& Dragons, it's basically, yeah, dungeon crawling with a story. If you can have the story that goes with it, oh, it's so much more fun.
It is.
It is having that reason on knowing why your characters are fighting, doing what they do.
Yeah. It's true.
So,
Okay.
and
So
that is part of the reason actually why Grog and Kevdak's fight was so good, is because we know Grog's stake in this. We know, like, there are real consequences if Grog dies.
yeah.
And on the tabletop, just watching, being on the edge of your seat for that, and then seeing this animated. It was just so good. And then when all of Vox Machina gets there and joins in on the fight, the music, A plus, the fighting at that point, A plus plus plus. That's actually what I have in my notes.
Yo.
And I love Bad News. Bad News is Percy's rifle.
Yes. The rifle
That
is amazing.
dude, the stats on that thing are broken as crap, but it works.
Yeah.
I believe actually if he rolls a certain number, it jams.
A one or a two.
I think actually it's 1 or 2, like, it's 2 numbers.
No, I know. That's what I said. A one
Yeah,
or two. Add a if he
yeah,
rolls a one or two, it jams.
mhm, yeah, but dang. And so I love how they show that firepower just
Yeah. Yeah. It was awesome. And there's one of the things I thought was really beautifully done on this. I am during so this is jumping ahead to the third the final episode. I
Mhm,
am where they end up facing off against I am Umbral. I
Umbersil.
Umbrasyl, thank you. I am against Umbrasyl. And when they do, there's a one point where Umbrasyl keeps going after Vex. I and every time he does, Percy is the one that saves her. He
Yes,
actively is saving her, and you can feel that the connection between the two. And they just do it so beautifully where these characters are doing what they would do, and you can feel where their characters are and the way that they're fighting has changed because Percy didn't always protect her like that, but now he
yeah,
always protects her ever
mhm,
since the moment where he killed her. He actively protects her, and also because obviously that they're in love,
yeah, very very obviously.
obviously. Yeah.
Let's say, okay, yeah, no, again, I love how these characters grow and they develop, like, that's what makes these that's what made Critical Role so good, and that's what this shows.
Yeah.
But, so back to episode 10. One of the funniest parts that I laughed at, I was like, "That is so D&D," is once, Grog chops his arm off,
Yes.
he begins using it as a weapon.
I
Tight
know.
Stone Gauntlet's still on. He's like, "Alright, it's my hammer."
And he starts beating him with his hand. Yep. Oh, it's so great. That's fitting. Yep.
And then after the fight, I still like, one of the other notes I have is, like, I love still how Vax is being cold, because the
Yeah.
dude's trying to figure crap out, like, he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah. I thought
So,
that was
makes
really well. Yeah, really well done as well.
yeah. And then episode 11.
Yes, episode 11. I am. I'm not gonna lie. This episode just doesn't really stand out to me.
To me, 2, 3 things stand out for me.
Yeah.
1, Scanlan and Kaylee's backstories. I love
Oh,
how
that's right.
I love how Scanlan's like, "I loved your mother," and tells this grand old tale. She's like, "That's not my mother."
That's not my mother. Okay, so literally as he's saying it, I'm like, they better do that. They better make it that this is the wrong girl. And they did it. Yes! So much better.
Oh, yeah, makes it so much better.
Oh, so funny. Because it completely because there's always that trope that of course it's the one woman that he actually truly loved or whatever. And they always have that trope in so many different films of like
Yeah.
the characters like Scanlan. And so they do that trope and then they completely subvert it and it's just perfect and it fits so perfectly.
Yeah, it does, and honestly, I love how now this creates a character crisis within Scanlan. He's like, "What the heck do I do now?"
Yeah.
Which which I love how later I believe it is in this episode, how,
Hmm.
they're starting to fight Umbersil, and
Yes.
Vax and Scanlan are like, "How you doing, buddy?" I was like, "Doing alright, just having a character crisis moment." "Oh, same here. Apparently, I'm the Raven Queen's champion." He's like, "Yeah, I'm a dad." "You win."
I know that was so funny.
Like,
That
I
was
love that.
yeah. That was so great. That's so well done.
Which, for me
I
and the other part that stands out in this episode is the entire thing with the Raven Queen Temple.
yes.
That is one for one accuracy from the tabletop into the show.
That's cool.
That is 100% accurate. They like nailed it down to a T.
Yeah. One
I
of
would
the
say
things I
other
loved was
than
oh go ahead.
I think the priests or priestesses did talk a little bit more to Vax, but I liked how they didn't speak. It made
Yeah,
more sense that way.
I like that they didn't speak to it. It added to their mystique and everything with that.
Making it
I
mystical and mysterious and daunting and threatening and scary.
yes. Creepy. As cultists should be.
Mhm.
I but yeah. One of my favorite things though is afterwards how he's so sure of himself and satisfied and
Mhm.
he's just almost elated I am with everything because she's been there the whole time. He always thought he was alone, but she's always been with him, and just that comfort and elation that he has. Walks out, you're covered in blood. Ah, it doesn't matter. Let's keep going. You're covered in blood.
Blood! I I was laughing so hard because again, prior to this, like, Megan can attest to, I was like, "I'm not sure they are gonna do the Raven Queen's temple," and when they came up, I was like, "Yes! We get the pool of blood!"
That's awesome.
Like, that was the one thing I was oddly, I was excited for. I was like, "Yeah! Max bathing in blood." But and to me, this is where I love it because, both of us, sorry, we're both very church people. We're
Yes.
very spiritual. That's the term I was looking
Yeah.
for. And usually, a lot of times when we're struggling within our trial, struggling with our own personal stuff, and we're seeking that answer, we're wanting that answer, and we're searching, and then when we finally get it, oh, you do feel elated, like Vax does. He's walking out with a smile. Don't get me wrong, yes, he's covered in blood, but still.
Yeah. But no, it's still that feeling of comfort and assurance that you've been
Mhm.
lacking. And when your trial of faith is finally passed, where
Yeah,
you
it's
feel the reward.
yeah, and it's that affirmation of your faith,
Yes.
which is why I also love what happens later in the last episode.
Yes.
But honestly, just the way they've treated Vax and the Raven Queen has been perfect.
I agree. And Vax is no longer my least favorite. Oh, not least favorite. Scanlan. Well, I don't have a least favorite anymore. At this point in the
Mhm.
story, I like everybody.
Like, all of them are, like, equal. If anything, it's just, like, we're talking a point or 2.
Yeah. Vax has gone up a lot for me because he's not creepy brother anymore.
Mhm,
I and so I really like where his character is at. I
mhm.
really enjoy his character now, and it's such a BA character. He's his own person finally, and I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, and I love how since he's gotten his independence, he's only grown stronger and he's been a lot cooler.
Yeah, yes,
So, Keyleth is still my least favorite, but again, we're talking, like, they're all in this same bracket. Keyleth
Yeah.
is just it's just like 1 point, like
Yeah.
just 1 point lower than the rest of them.
That's fair.
Just because again, it's very much like that. Oh wait, the whiny anime girl. That's what it is for me, Keyleth. Like even when they get back to Whitestone the
Yeah.
first time, she just kind of goes in. It's just like, oh, I'm so tired. Things did not go well. The Feywilds, and she just complaining. I'm like, ugh, this is why I don't like Keyleth. And then we see Vexalia, who's just like being a mature adult about all this. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we got it. Where is everybody? What's the plan? What's the next step? What are we gonna do? Where's Grog? Where's Scanlan? Where's Pike? Where are they?
Yeah. Yep. And I can definitely understand that. She
like
really hasn't bugged me, but I can see where you're coming from with it.
like don't get me wrong, she still has her charm every now and then.
Yes. And like you
But
said, it's like a point difference. It's not like
yeah, it's not
hate
like
this
I
character.
despise the character. I want the character to die, like we did with
Yeah.
Gladriel.
Yep.
It's very much more on. It's annoying. That's it. It's annoying character trait that I don't like, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean I don't like her.
That's fair.
So, also love Scanlan, him getting more into a backstory. In this case, we're seeing more character growth there.
Yep.
And one of my other favorite moments in episode 11. Percy explaining how a pressure plate works to a bunch of barbarians.
That was hilarious. There's like, what? You dig here. Why didn't you just say that? No, it's more complicated. Ah!
He's an idiot.
The difference between book smarts and street smarts.
And I love how Grog is like, dig here.
The fact is, the thing that I loved about that is it shows he's not an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
It's that
I got,
little thing right there where it's just like, he's smarter than people think.
or if anything, it's more on, he went through all of this and he's just like, only thing I need to know, dig there.
Yep.
We're going to dig a hole and Percy's going to do some mechanical magic and this will work.
Yep. I still love the fact that with an actual dinner plate and forks, he
was
made
able
a
to make
pressure
it.
plate.
Yeah. Like, dude, Percy is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Like, he is my 1 or 2. Like, honestly, most of the time, it's him and Vax. Him and Vax who are
Yeah.
competing.
Okay.
Because, again, as you get later on, especially as we get into the Vecna arc and all that stuff, it's very neck and neck. It gets neck and neck.
I can completely understand that. Grog's number 1 for me, forever and always.
Grog is always like, he's at the top in a special category. Like, I can never fault him. I can never do anything with his character. Like, he's just perfect.
Yes.
He does a barbarian perfectly.
He does.
Even with a low intelligence, he does it fantastic. He is not like the bumbling idiot.
He's the adorable bumbling idiot.
Exactly. And even still, he's not purposefully making mistakes and saying,
No.
"Oh, it's because I'm an idiot."
No.
He's like, "I'm doing the best I can." Limited into like, again, he's actually doing what his character is going to do.
Exactly. And he tries
Like,
his best, but it's the times where he does something, it's because of a bad roll, and it's not because he purposefully does it to mess with everybody.
Craven Edge. That's the only exemption I'm going to get. But
Okay.
even still, that makes sense. He's going to see a sword that is super powerful, that is super strong. He's like, I want it. And it's talking to him. He's like, cool. Oh, and I love that with the axe.
Okay, yes. So after the fight, he gets the axe of the guy and he goes, so do you talk too? No? Great, okay, I'll take it. Awesome. But yeah, okay, so let's talk about the final fight with Umbrasil.
Part 1 of it, because we got the entire pressure plate part and then we got the the rest of it.
Yes. So I'm talking about starting off, pressure plate part. I love that they had a fallback.
Yes.
Because they know dragons are intelligent. They were hoping it would work. But I loved that they had a fallback plan for it.
Yeah. And honestly, what I love with it is in the tabletop, they started actually legitimately planning on how to attack dragons. Like it was an actual planning meeting they would have in game in character.
Nice.
And then they would put together and execute it. And that became consistent throughout the rest of the campaign. Is whenever and actually one of the smoothest fights they have is actually against the white dragon.
Okay.
They planned and prepared for this meticulously. They know where it's going to be. They went, set up booby traps, did everything they could to trap it in. And seriously, it was one of the smoothest fights, I think,
That's awesome.
because they planned, they were able to plan ahead. Umbersill was like really the first time they planned and put one into action
Yeah.
to this degree. The white dragon is where it went by very quickly because it
Okay.
worked.
And they learn from the mistakes of this one.
Exactly.
That's cool. But yeah, I loved the fight. So they get in and just everything with it was so well done. I love that the entire I am not horde. What is it called?
Herd.
Herd. Thank you. I knew it started with an H. The entire herd basically massacred in this fight,
Yeah.
which is really sad.
It is
But
really sad, but it's the reality. You're
yeah,
going up against an ancient dragon.
exactly. And it was brutal. It was a brutal fight for both sides. I love that. I loved Scanlan and Vex. We're like, we have to get inside. It's poison. Other side. Oh.
And actually, they were thinking that in the planning stage,
Yeah.
but they didn't know where the anatomy of the dragon well enough to really pinpoint. Uh,
Yeah.
oh, what's the name of the pills that go up there?
The
Suppository.
suppository, yeah.
Yeah, go on the suppository route. So actually, what they did instead was, I think, a little bit more stupider but funny.
Okay.
They dimension door inside the dragon.
Oh, okay.
Actually, what they do is they have a potion and shrink Vax down to the size of Scanlan, size of a gnome,
Yeah.
and then they dimension door together inside the dragon.
Oh, that's awesome.
But where they actually end up is actually between the scales and the muscle tissue.
Ooh, okay.
So they're suffocating.
Yeah.
And so Vax begins trying to claw his way through, and that's when they get in.
Okay.
And then they start getting covered in acid.
Yeah.
So throughout the entire thing, they're like, "This is a horrible idea."
Yo, I love how they did it in the show. I think it made
I
it more.
liked it.
Yeah, it was a comedic way to do it. It
Mhm.
took a little bit of the tension out of it, which is
Yeah.
needed. But it still fit with their characters, and it was just so well done, and it became a great thing. And I love that he used the sword that he was given.
Oh yeah.
It was a great use of it. That it, I mean, it almost felt like it was. Well, it did feel like it was. He got this just for this moment type thing.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it was a great plot device, and it was really cool to see it, and it added more to Umbrasyl and how terrifying it is that it
Mhm.
rips a sword straight through it just and it doesn't care.
Yeah,
Uh,
because he can heal it.
yeah, and that's where the second part starts.
Yeah. Which okay, so in between, like okay, after they do the fight with Umbersill and Umbersill is beginning to flee.
Yes,
I love how they did the aerial combat.
which is really cool.
And then of course they nailed it with Vax and his wings. That
Yeah.
is exactly how it happened in the tabletop too. Is
Oh,
they're free falling and Vax is just desperate. He's just like, and it's at that point he truly gains acceptance of the Raven Queen. He truly embraces it, and that's when he gets the Raven wings.
that's cool.
And I still love how Vex is like, "Really? You got wings and I got a broom."
Yep. That was hilarious.
Like, this is the thing I do like now that Vax does have a little bit more independence. He's not like codepending on his sister. They still have their sibling relationship,
Yes.
but it's now more on Vax has his own problems. He's learning to take care of himself.
Yeah. And it's now Vex who's kind of hanging on more
Mhm.
because she's so used to him. And it's such a good way to transition and showing how people act with it. I think it's beautifully
Mhm.
done, and I really enjoy that because she's never been the clingy type.
Yeah, and
I
even still, when he's beginning to pull away, she's not like, "Oh no, come back to me." She's just like, "Okay, I'm gonna figure this out."
Yeah, but I do like that because she's worried about him. That she says to him the thing that he always says to her, of "Don't go far from me,"
Yeah,
and
is
just
it
that
still?
turn, where
Yeah,
he's always saying it. Now she says it because she sees that he's going away from her, and she's so used to him, and so she's gonna have to learn to let go.
hmm
And it's not going to be anywhere near as hard for her as it was for him.
hmm
But it's really cool to see, and it's that bittersweet moment. That's what that was for me. Is that bittersweet? You see that they are pulling apart, but they're still the siblings. They
yeah,
still have that relationship and that rivalry and all that.
yeah, or just the one upsmanship
Yes, and
that
then
every sibling and even friends have.
yeah,
And then I love how Grog has broken leg, and how I love how realistic they are getting when it comes to the fights.
yeah. Me too. Me too. Those fights have all been really great, where it is really realistic, and it's not. It doesn't feel as much of D&D. It still has that feel to it, but it feels
hmm
like this was what would happen. They get bit, they are bit. They have blood coming everywhere, like Keela.
Yeah. hmm Yeah. Actually, there's one other thing I was gonna say. They do have, and because it's realistic, it's very much nail biters. We're like,
Yes.
oh, who's gonna die? Who's gonna die?
Yep.
And how are they gonna bring it back?
Yep. I love that with Grog. So when he free falls, that he's trying to find a way to survive because no one can get to him in time. And then
Yeah.
he's like, all right, well, I can get bigger and that might be able to help me a little bit. And so he does it and it manages just barely to save him. He is
Yeah.
like, and he's out of the fight at the start of the next part of it because of how
Mhm.
badly hurt he is.
Yeah, because actually, I believe, okay, tabletop wise, I believe actually, yeah, what the Titanstone gauntlets do is it doubles. Yeah, he goes into the 20s for his strength and constitution.
Okay.
It beefs him up that way. Again, the constitution, I believe, it's not supposed to. Actually, I think it's just his strength. But because he is a barbarian, I believe it is his strength modifier, constitution modifier that goes into his AC.
Yeah.
So I like the way they try to interpret it that way, to where, boom, doing that, makes him bigger, makes him stronger, builds up his constitution, and not as much of the damage.
Yeah.
Well, still a significant amount of damage because he is free falling from a back of a dragon.
Yes. I am. But I know that as a barbarian and raging, that you do take less bludgeoning
Half,
damage. Yeah, you
yeah,
take half
half
damage.
bludgeoning.
And so I mean, he may have fallen 100 feet and taken 100d6 damage, or oh, was it 10d6 damage?
10d6.
I, but that gets halved, and so because of that, he's able to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pike is able to heal him most of the way, but runs out of heals because she's tapped out on magic.
Yep. So
And
she's out
then
of spell slots.
yep, um, gets to the final fight, they're like, well, we can't do anything, so we're going to sit out of it. And they take a short rest, I'm guessing, and then they get into the
Yeah,
fight.
I believe, yeah, they take a short rest. I believe they all do.
Yeah.
Uh, But no, they were the main reason why they're like, "We're gonna follow him," is because, yeah, them using D&D knowledge. They don't want Umbersil to get a long rest,
Makes sense.
which Umbersil started a long rest. So I believe he did, like, recover half of his HP,
Okay.
because it took him a while to for them to hike up to there,
Yeah,
to his lair.
I believe that. Yeah. And that was a really cool way to show that he was taking the long rest and healing and all that.
Oh, yeah,
I I thought that was really well done.
absolutely. And then the actual fight in the lair,
Yes.
so you know the whole thing with Chinga, right?
With Jenga? Yeah.
Yep, yeah, it's yeah, tabletop, it was actually Jenga,
Yeah.
because that means everything's toppling over and crap's hitting the fan.
Yo.
But yeah, again, love X going in, scouting it out. I love just the visual animations for the fight for these fights because they're done so incredibly well.
Mhm.
It's on TikTok. I see one guy that goes on that's just like, guys, okay, we just got one little scene. Uh, it's not a big scene, but we got time with it. And the guy's like, you're saying we have time, and they go all out with the animation because they got the time and the money.
Yeah,
That's why I feel like these fights are for those moments.
yeah.
It's like, "You're saying we got time here. Alright, we're gonna make these fights fantastic."
Yo. No, and they did. And that final fight against Umbrasyl was really great. I love that it showed Scanlan's fear because every time dragons have come, he's run.
Mhm.
I don't think he's ever actually fought one of the dragons. I mean, he did kind of with Umbrasyl, with the Sphinx, because he wanted to help the Sphinx. I,
Yeah.
but as a whole, every single time he's like, let's just run. It's a dragon. We can't do anything. We need to get out of here.
Mhm.
And so the entire fight, he sits out of it. And then he keeps having that moment of, I need to overcome my fear so I can be the man that my daughter needs me to be.
Yeah, and I
And I,
also love how actually Vax is now stepping up to being, like, the group leader,
yeah,
but this is where it's one of the negatives is he's assuming kinda that mantle of, like, "I am the hero," like, so to speak,
yes,
where he's telling Scanlan to grow up. And actually, in the long run, what that does is make Scanlan feel isolated, and I like how we're starting to see that.
yes,
Is
I
because
agree.
yes, yeah, Scanlan on the inside, we see what he's going through. They don't. And again, in the tabletop, they didn't know what Scanlan was going through.
Yeah,
So they're just hey, they're killing it. Like, dude, this is like a 10 out of 10 for me.
I know. It's been so great.
It's just been so good. Like, the I can't fault any of it. Like, there is zero faults I can find in the show.
Yeah, I I love it. I love the show. It's been so great. This season
Mhm.
especially has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
It
Love
just keeps getting better and better and better.
It does. And actually, I I love how they even incorporated layer actions in this.
Yeah, where he starts blowing all those up. That was so great.
Yeah, because that's one thing, people don't understand in Dungeons& and Dragons unless you've played it.
Yeah. If you find a creature, you get it away from its lair. Because in its lair, it is infinitely more difficult to beat.
Dude, and I love how they show that
Yeah.
because layer actions are a monster.
Yeah. So, a quick synopsis what a lair action is. Basically, at the way that it works is everyone has a set number of what place they are in the lineup for they call it initiative.
Yep.
At the end of each turn, so after everyone has a chance to do their action, the lair gets the action. And there's different themes for all of them. I am You can custom make your own, but some of it is that like geysers of lava burst out of the ground. There's ones
Mhm,
like what it showed there where the stalactites all just start bursting around them and causes a lot
mhm.
of damage. I've had some where there's basically the room was filled with I mushrooms, essentially
Oh,
like
yeah.
giant fungus, and when
Mhm,
they hit one, it would release a toxin, so they would be paralyzed. And then one of the layer actions that it could do, because there can be multiple, one of them that it did is that it brought more mushrooms in. So where there was 3 mushrooms in the room, now there's 12. Now there's 24. Like it keeps growing, and so there's more likely to hit. And
yeah.
so it's things like that. That's what the layer action is, and that's once a turn that happens, and it just makes everything for the players that much harder.
Mhm. And even make it even much more of a pain in the butt, legendary actions that the dragon gets to take.
Yes.
Those ones aren't initiative. That's like, okay, they just ended their turn, and you know what? The dragon's going to attack right now. He's gonna do a tail whip.
It is completely unfair, and I love it.
Uh, I'm gonna say in one respect, it allows the DM, like it gives the edge to the DM.
It
Which,
does.
and again, that's what really makes these dragons feel hard and scary when it comes to tabletop.
Yeah.
is because, again, I've actually been in sessions where they're like, "Okay, we're bringing out a dragon." You're like, "Oh, no. My character's not ready for this. I'm not ready for this."
Okay, I'm gonna digress real quick.
Go for
I have
it.
only actually faced a dragon once in any of the campaigns I've done as a player.
Mhm.
And in it, we had it's a rod of wonder. We call it the Wabber Jabber stick. But basically, every time you'd use it, you would roll a D100 and it would be a random effect. Well, we were facing an ancient red dragon, and I just kept hitting it. I had the stick, and so I kept hitting it with the stick over and over each turn, doing a random thing. The last one, I caused the nearest star to us to explode.
Ouch.
The DM had the gods intervene and took the stick from me.
As this
I
is just
ended
like
the world.
uh,
Oh, so funny.
Guys are like, not no exploding star today.
It's like, you gave me the item. This is your fault.
You need to prepare better. You better not have that be one of the options here.
Yep. Oh, so funny. But anyways, back to this. So yeah, the legendary actions, layer actions, all that stuff. Dragons are ridiculous and so much fun to fight.
Oh yeah, and then the big old plot twist at the end.
Yes. Was that the green?
It is the green.
The
The
one that
green does turn traitor to the Chroma Conclave because I believe she's actually working with Vecna.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, I believe she Raishan, I will say her name. Or
Sounds right. Sounds
yeah,
right.
Raishan. I think I got it right. If anything, I'm gonna call her Rai Rai. But yeah, Raishan, I
Right,
believe is
Sean.
her name.
Yep.
Boom! I got it.
Yep. The disease deceiver.
Yeah. She joins up with Vox Machina, helps them find some of the other like vestiges, I want to say. And when it actually comes to the fight, she will start off on Thordak's side, but
Yeah.
then she switches because again, she needs to keep up the deception
Okay.
to where finally what they I believe she's like is you got to get the jewel out of his chest. Once you smash that jewel, once you get that taken out, he's a normal ancient red dragon.
Yeah.
So once that happens, I believe they even get another dragon involved.
That's awesome.
Because I actually believe I try again, this is where my memory's fuzzy. Because she does turn traitor at the very end because she grabs something and runs off with it.
Yeah.
It might be the crystal, but I'm unsure.
Yeah. We will find out.
We'll find out next season.
Yup.
Maybe.
But yeah, so spoiler alert, they kill the dragon. And
And they fight Vecna.
and then they fight back. No. But yeah, so they kill Umbrasil, and then they meet back up with
With the tribe.
the
With
tribe and
the
at the
herd.
Whitestone. Then they go back to Whitestone.
Hmm.
And that's where the green dragon reveals herself to them and like, hey, so I'm here to help you. You guys are gonna need all the help you can get to take him down. And that's where it ends.
Yep. Ends on a great cliffhanger.
It does. Very excited for next season. It's gonna be a really great one. And
Yeah. It's gonna be
yeah.
great. It's gonna be fantastic. And yeah, that's gonna I think end our Vox Machina tag. I believe next week is our first book club
Oh
session.
boy, I haven't read.
I might have to go through and reread it. Honestly, it's not super hard. It's a good story from
Yeah.
everything I've read so far. But I'm also so much hooked in Dune right now. It's kind of hard for me to pull myself away from it.
Well, how about we take a different one? We can do something else this next week, and then we can get to the book after you finish Dune.
Oh,
I
dude,
have a
I'm not
lot
gonna
of
finish Dune for a while, so I'm fine
okay.
with. Dude, I'm only halfway through the book. It is so
Okay.
good.
Yeah. That'll make
I
sense.
do like one chapter a night.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk about this next
Yeah,
week's stuff later. But
yeah, we'll go on that. But definitely next week we're gonna be talking books. At
yes,
least expect that.
yes, I am. But a good
So
place to put that book
put
on
it
the shelf. We'll pick it up next year.
not next year, next week. Oh, okay, for this one, yeah, next year.
Yes, yes. For
I was
this
like, what? Yeah, picking it up. Yeah, we'll pick up next Vox Machina next year. All right, talk to you guys later.
Bye.